Baby, you need your eye. Hello there. Yes, we're in the kitchen. This is a fishing video, kind of, or live stream, whatever. We'll be working on a couple reels. I want reel. So and I need to put a charging cable on. We're just letting the water warm up. So here we have our Hi there, hurting for sturgeon. Here's my HXW Raptor. Where's the clicker? We'll give this reel a little wash before we'll be applying some ceramic wax to it. Well, we'll dry it first and then we'll do the ceramic wax. Yeah. First order of business is to wash our hands, because we want to get any fat residue and stuff off. We've already done this once, so this will be the second wash for the reel. This will basically to seal up any exposed bits against corrosion, because it will prevent the salt water from actually making contact with the reel. And once that coat, the first few coatings are applied, we'll actually crack it open and do a full service of the reel. And then we might redo it, at least on the spool. But yeah. Nice. Albert is sending me an HX3 Raptor 3-speed in silver here in the next few days. That's awesome. Did you also get the MC, or did you cheap out and get the regular 3-speed? I mean, I don't even know if I'm gonna need the MC, if I'm being honest. I'm fine. Thumb casting is real. I mean, I cast my 50 watt Makaira just fine, but yeah. I did get the one with the MC installed because it's really not a big. You can't upgrade it on the reel after you've. Like, if you buy the reel, you're stuck with it without an MC, and it wasn't much extra money, so. So I thought, if I'm going to spend this kind of money on a reel, might as well, you know. Okay, dish soap. And actually, I don't want this to be too watery, so I'm going to wrap this in another paper towel. Okay, I've compacted this too much. This isn't working. And normally I would just fluff it up, and that is a good idea. He said he had one in stock, so I don't know. Okay, I don't think it's gonna be MC. But yeah. I texted him earlier, but he hasn't gotten back to me. Gotcha. He said he'd never even heard of the reel. The one I've gotten. Like, mine was basically custom made by Abbott. I mean, custom made is, it sounds crazier than it is. But yeah, my reel was this, like they actually put the reel together there just for me. They didn't have a reel in stock like mine. At Abbott, they actually built this reel. Not from scratch, but yeah. In this constellation, they don't normally produce or sell the reel. Here I'm just cranking it while I'm pushing my soapy paper towel against the reel. So spool is the most important part, because that's where the line obviously will transport all the water, you know. And I will crack this reel open and give it a service before I'll actually spool it and fish it. But yeah. So I can spool it in a reasonable time. So I can spool it in a reasonable time. I am doing this cleaning part now. I might just give this reel a quick rinse again. Honestly, it should dry out enough to do the superficial wax coating. The thing is, you also want to do this cleaning part relatively as shortly as possible before you do the coating, because you don't want dust to settle on it. That will. So yeah. Yeah, I'll probably just end up rinsing this off, honestly. Just wiping it off will be a bit of a pain. Also, you don't want your reel to be too cold when you do this. I'm gonna slap my HXW on a Hellcat Revenge Blackout extra heavy. Okay. I don't know the Hellcat's rods. We don't have them over here, so no idea. I've never held one in my hands, so can't really comment. Yeah, let's get all the nooks and crannies. So ideally, of course, you get your brand new reel, you just do this kind of cleaning once, you put your wax coat on, and then it should be mostly good for the next few years. You won't have to clean it extensively like this. The thing is, I already had put a different wax on here, but that wax was kind of smelly and I didn't like that smell. I've got some neutral wax now. Should be a lot better. Okay, we'll do the spool once again. Then we'll just wipe it down a couple times and then we'll rinse it. Just for the spool, we'll do a fresh paper towel with some fish soap. All right, the real foot. Oh, think I might have forgotten all the ridges. Obviously, you want to do under the real foot as well. Yeah, I forgot about them. And inside here, where you have the crossbar. And I've got two other reels to strip down and basically wash the same way. I don't know if I should do that right now or not, but we'll see. But first, this reel has to be done. Actually, those two reels I got as a present. One is an old Abu Garcia Ambassador, like a bait caster, and the other one is that runs great, except that the push down button for casting doesn't work too well. Okay, now we just wipe it. Dry it first, and we'll wipe it with a wet cloth or wet paper towel, because we want to get all the soapy water off of the outside before we do any washing, We don't want to wash soap into the insides of the reel. They are pretty amazing. I don't know when I'll be fishing next. I'm trying to get a car at the moment. Like I don't have the money, but I've made a bit of a deal with my parents, basically. And if I find an affordable car, they will finance it for me as long as I do some other stuff. One of the things I'll be doing, for example, I'm starting to meal prep for my mother. So basically that she just has to heat up her meals, and she'll get healthy meals for exactly the diet results she wants. That still is stuff that she actually likes, and yeah. And some other stuff, but yeah. I need a car here really to start fishing properly. Maybe I could do some very basic, it would be a pain, the thing is, especially right now where it's still a bit colder, you need to bring that much stuff with you to make it comfortable. That without a car, it's not really practical. If it's warm enough and I can just lay down on the ground, I could just grab a couple rods and bait some night crawlers. We're not allowed to lure fish for the next 2 months. Yeah, for the next 2 months, we're not allowed lures or bait fish. So I can't do really the active fishing styles. So I can only do bank fishing where you just need a lot more equipment, which is why I really need a ride, Like I can only think of one spot that is close enough to maybe walk with a super light tackle to do some bait fishing. Even that, I don't know. I would have to bring so much clothing material alone. It would be, I don't know, it wouldn't be too good. I'm still debating with myself a little bit. If I should test the Tightline hollow core or not, or if I should just spool it with Cortland, which I know and trust. You just need to move to Oregon already, lol. I don't know if my girlfriend would like that. And what am I gonna live off in Oregon? At least my food and housing is covered over here. I know it's a joke, I know. But yeah. Yeah, we're ready to give the reel a quick rinse, I think. And then we'll wipe it dry again, put it on the heater. Maybe inside of these clean rag, or let me see if I can find a completely clean towel. I mean, I do have plenty of towels, but I would prefer like a big towel. Oh, yeah, that one. That'll keep us off of it. We'll wrap it in this. It's an outdoorsman's paradise. She would probably love it here. She would, but she has reasons not to move. Let's just put it that way. Okay. I mean, this is just fresh water, so this shouldn't really do any harm to the reel. I'm redirecting the stream with my hand. This is warm water. Not hot, but pretty warm. That helps to dissolve and take off any impurities. All right. But anyway. Just side, everyone perfect. I want real. The scars you've never healed. So I should know. All right. But yeah, sturgeon. We won't be moving to Oregon, sorry, but yeah. I know it was a joke anyway. All right. Let's wrap it on the inside that wasn't exposed to air of this towel. Like so. And put it on top of our heater. I'm gonna try to fish this weekend. That's awesome. Yeah. So we'll just make some room over here. Okay, let's put something on top of there so it doesn't touch the heat directly. An upside down bowl should do the trick. Yeah. This way no dust is coming on here, and yeah. Hello, kitty. Why are you complaining? Want to get eaten? You've got food, so it can't be that. My little fishing partner. Meow. Meow. Anyway. Where are you now? Now, yeah, I am in Germany. And I'm in the part of Germany that is the worst for fishing at this time of year. Especially without a top. Alrighty. Well, we've got these two reels. To strip down, I've just got some mono on here. All right, this reel actually has a broken oscillation gear. The drag runs well on this reel, and the mono honestly doesn't feel bad. I could keep it as a brake line, but on the other hand, I have enough. I don't know, man. Okay, this mono here just doesn't make it good. I mean, it makes a surprisingly good impression, but still. You know, it's line that's been used. It's years old. Probably best to just strip it and and put it to rest. The Ambassador 560A. My cat's passed out next to me. Lol. Yeah, who puts mono like that? And honestly, okay, if you want to fish for pike and you don't have in the days before braid, this isn't bad. Okay, no. This line down here looks worse than up above. I wouldn't trust this line. This line is making my hands sticky, which is weird. Surprising amount of line on this little reel for it being such heavy mono. This is like 30 and 50 pound mono, probably like 40 pound at least. So like 0.5 millimeter or 0.55 millimeter, I would think. A freaking accordion. And let's see how they've connected this line. Okay, they've literally just tied it around once. So okay, it actually sticks. Or is it tied to a pin or something? Okay, no, it does slip. It does slip if you give it a chance. Seriously, this is like a 5-rep clinch knot. It's going to be a pain to undo, and it's also not a shitty connection. Actually, if I stretch the mono, it'll lift off. Hi. I've just wrapped it around my foot. I would never attach line like this. And I don't want to scratch up the reel's finish. That's the thing. Oops. Sorry, folks. That is right now why I'm struggling a bit. Of course, I could just cut this, but I want to see if these scissors work. Okay, some tension. Done. Okay, this is already working. This is a wrap. I might use this reel for pike fishing. Okay, it has a very small arbor, which will definitely increase line capacity. Yeah, this mono is going in the trash. It has such a weird smell to it. I don't like it. Not one bit. Yeah. I honestly think some oil or grease leaked onto the slime. Okie dokie. This is a good reel. All right. Let's wash this reel. Let's get all that nasty stuff off of here. Okay. Morning, Bumblebee. Bumblebee TVK. Hi, B. Yeah. Let's give this reel a little scrub down. It's definitely the dirtiest reel I've had in a long time. And I mean, it's not mine, so. I don't think this reel ever got washed after fishing. A little bit of dish soap. Let's see if we can give this. I'm already asking a few questions. Bro, it's all good, Sturgeon. You're not forced to be here, believe it or not. But yeah. It's got a casting drag, a star drag, this push release button thingy, whatever you call this on a baitcaster. I literally don't know. The thing that would be the bail on a spinning reel. Let's clean the star track. And yeah, hurting for sturgeon. I also, by the way, I got basically everything I need for your shark leaders. Just if I can get a drill, I will do that, because otherwise my elbows are gonna hurt from making these leaders. But yeah, definitely within the next couple of weeks, I'll have your leaders ready. And we can actually do the I don't know if I should hold that little tricky part, but yeah, I'll definitely. We can't make the sturgeon leaders right now, because. Well, why not? Okay. Alrighty. Silly car, and shame, pity someone didn't clean it, maintain it. I'd never do such a thing. It was my first car's fault. It had no engine oil. Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about the Toyota Corolla. Basically being like the old school Nokia of cars. Do you know if that is actually true? I mean, they are available to affordable prices in okay conditions. This is definitely the best cleaning this reel's ever gotten. Is your mom alive? Yeah. So I think I'll skip the wiping it dry and I'll just give it a rinse. That's probably good enough. Hi, Hurton. I was thinking of going live, but my girlfriend is gaffing with her sisters, okay? Tomorrow I rode off a car without engine oil. Well, there's worse things. Damn, yeah, oil's important, man. Seriously. Hurting, sorry to hear that. Females disrupting your plans. Oh, B is getting sassy. It was many years ago. Yeah. I've already had my share of car troubles too. I've got stuck at least 3 times. Had a car breakdown multiple times and all good. Well, all good was just gonna BS and talk fishing while half awake. Certain I'm female too. I think he knew, but if he didn't, yeah. That T is a woman. Honestly, this should. You broke down in a foreign country too. A bunch of times actually. I mean, the first time was in France. I did break down in France. Before I even got to Calais, I had my tire explode. Did I even tell you that part? My tire exploded on my car. That was fun. I think I did tell you, but yeah. Apparently, people get freaked out with stuff like that. I just pulled over. Of course, I needed to cross 3 lanes before I could pull over, but anyway. Yeah. A few hours later, I was back on the road. And I had some insurance that covered part of the money at least. Oh, this worm shaft has a bunch of old grease on it. That'll be another whole cleaning job in of itself. Anyway, let's leave this reel to dry. You broke the... Yeah. No, that was that. Yes, it was. Had a tire going. Yeah, I was at that speed too. It was legal where I was driving, but I was at over 100 kilometers. Like, I don't know, 120 or something. And yeah, the left front tire went bang. Black rubber was flying off the tire. The recovery guy was shocked. I got to hard shoulder. Okay. Yeah, I had no problems for pulling over. But yeah. Should we strip this reel off the same way? Yeah, this line is nasty too. This is nasty line. This will also go straight to the trash. I'm not going to use this for anything. But yeah, it was on the way. And of course, I missed my ferry. because replacing the tire, I had to replace 2 front tires because they needed to be the same and they didn't have the exact tire as my cars had. I have something similar to AA, but they didn't cover the repair. They only recover, but they did pay for the recovery. So the $150, that's 120 pounds maybe. That's the recovery guy. He wanted that stuff got re-embellished for that, but the 200 something for the 2 new tires, I did have to pay that. So another reason I was already short on money when my trip started. Okay. Let's see how this line is fixed to the spool, if it's fixed at all. It is, but again, with some stupid clinch knot. Seriously. Do you don't know any other knots, or why would you tie this to a spool? Oh, and B, by the way, I also got stuck on an edge somewhere and actually had to, after all the recovery companies just said it would take at least a few days before they could get me off of there, I walked to the nearest farm, and luckily the farmer was nice enough to come down with his tractor and pull me back out. That was fine. That was fun. It was right at the side of a restaurant, but the people there at least were pretty nice. And I had to use a bench to get me out of there, which broke, but they didn't even want me to do anything. And yeah, a lot of interesting things happened. Let's put it that way. But my car, hell, I mean, it had its issues, but it survived everything. It just wasn't 100% road legal at the end, but it was still rolling. So yeah, hey, she's okay. I have, yeah, could smell something for 5. I couldn't smell something. Yeah, geez, I would have pulled over to help you for sure. I saw you broke down. Hurton's recovery guy was 5 seconds more and would have been a massive car accident with multiple vehicles. Oh, nice. Any vehicle 2015 on US made to just break, so definitely research and test drive it. I mean, I don't have the money to buy a car that new anyway. But yeah, take a friend who knows cars pretty well with you to fully go over the car before you get your next one. Came loaded me on the flatbed trailer and but my tire wasn't in stock, so yeah, took me and car elsewhere. My roads are for driving on, not where just. If you got rid of the car, I think it's cursed. No, the car was magic. B, you don't know what that car survived. And I survived too. That's the most important thing. Like, hell, I mean, the D post was complete. Yes, I had to get rid of the car for insurance reasons. Not because I will still be driving it because it still drives. It drives. But yeah. It's Ford, huh? No, it was a VW Golf. So how you call it? VW Volkswagen Golf. Good car. It did at the end, both of my side mirrors were jerry-rigged bathroom mirrors, or beauty makeup mirrors. And yeah, but they did the job. you know. They almost work better than original mirrors. Yeah, either the gear is broken or something else is wrong with this worm shaft. I'll have to see if I fix it, otherwise I'll just have to remove it. To make it a manual line lay reel. Made in Taiwan. Yeah, this is an old Okuma. Now you can sing the I Will Survive song. You survived the bonkers Britain. I did. And you do know about my accident in Scotland, right? When I headbutted a pontoon 15 feet below me. Yeah, I fell off the ledge in a harbor while fishing. While I was a bit distracted and leaned forward just a little too much as the fish pulled, and fell headfirst onto a pontoon. That was fun. Luckily, even though it was an island with only 400 people, there was a doctor there within 15 minutes, and within an hour, an ambulance came, and they got me on, with help of the Coast Watch, they got me immobilized, loaded into an ambulance, brought to the ferry, and over to the next island where they actually had a hospital. Yeah. Honestly, I'm the bonkers one. You're always so accident prone. Never knew about the Scotland incident. Was that? He was, yeah. He was. But I was fishing at the same spot 24 hours later. In the hospital, they did a bunch of checks, including a CT scan. And I left the same evening, but it was too late to get the ferry back to the island we were staying on. So we had to check ourselves in unasked to a camping, like to a how do you call it? Oh fuck. Like a camping thing. I just stayed on the couch of the community room that night, and the guy actually didn't charge us. Just hoovering up the place was enough after he heard of the story, and yeah. Anyway, Bad Dad wasn't impressed. Oh, he was impressed. What actually he pulled the fish out. 3 mackerel were still on my rod. He pulled the fish out and dispatched them. He was just worried. I was okay. I was also worried about someone else who I know wouldn't have taken well to me being seriously hurt, and definitely if something permanently would have been, if I would have been permanently injured. So yeah. So the fish was no. I was a priority, but he couldn't do anything because I did get myself out of the water onto the pontoon, but then I shouldn't move because I could have easily broken my spine, you know? There was like a 50-50 chance my spine was broken somewhere. So to not accidentally cut my spinal cord, I had to remain still till I was cleared by the doctors, you know? So he just couldn't really do much. And yeah, I know who. So yeah, I said. So I was while I was laying there soaked in salt water, I was just messaging someone and saying I'm gonna be okay. Because my spinal cord is still intact. Worst case, I'll just have to wear a brace for a few months to let the bones heal back, and then I'll be fine. But there's also a chance nothing's wrong, and nothing was wrong in the end, just some strained muscles. So have you been accident prone all your life? Define accident prone. I mean, I do have like at least 10 little scars on this finger from when I cut myself carving wood. I do have quite a few scars on this finger, but the main scar is from a surgery because I got an infection. I didn't really get hurt. I just got a few scratches that ended up getting infected, and at the end, I needed operation. I did manage one time to break my leg jumping over a puddle. I jumped over a puddle in 7th grade, and I did make it, but somehow when I landed on the other side, it on the mud, my leg must have twisted and I snapped my tibia. I'd say more than one accident every 4 years. Define accident, please. Define accident. I think I've gone 4 years without an accident, or longer, maybe. It really depends all on what you call an accident. But let's just say if I get hurt, most of the time I'm the most calm person around. I tend to be the calmest person around when I get hurt. Like if jumping over a puddle and break your leg, hope you wasn't doing muddle puddles, like, nope. Like, the thing is, the teacher was like half an hour late. And we were just, a few of the boys started jumping, then like half the class did it, but I thought it was stupid and I didn't get into it, but like after 15 minutes, I was bored. I didn't, want to be the chicken and whatever. Then I said, oh, well. And after a few jumps, I attempted a jump everyone else chickened out on. I did make the jump, but I twisted my leg and broke it on the other side. So yeah, well, 7th grade. So how old would I have been? 13, I think. 12, 13, 12, I think. I think 12. But it could have been 13. Either way, yeah. Why did you need a teacher? No, we were supposed to have lessons. The break was already long over. We were waiting on the teacher to come and open the classroom door, because it was like an outside pavilion where that was locked. So we had to wait outside. But I think that's probably the only bone I've actually broke. I'm laughing harder than I should be. Well, as long as it doesn't hurt you health-wise, laugh away. Laugh away. So yeah. If you want tea, I actually have a video and some photos from my, actually multiple videos and multiple photos, I think, of my accident. But if that's something that might trigger you, I mean, it's not something nice to watch, I guess. I'm talking about the accident in Scotland, but I can also look what other incidents I have filming from. I mean, I've also gotten hooked. I've pierced myself a time or 2 or 3 or 4. One time I managed to get a treble hook, but only one prong of the treble hook through, like not my eyelid, but like this part with my eyebrow. I've had a hook in through here. That was fun. Thanks, laughter is the best medicine. I impressed the hospital. Gotta head out, brother. Hopefully I can catch you on the next one before I forget. How would you want me to? Bank transfer is best. It'll have the, like a transfer via bank or just what it's called. Oh, via credit card, it'll have the best exchange rate. Or actually, on one account, I might be able to receive it directly in dollars, but we'll have to make it. Actually, we'll have to talk about that in private about the payment. But yeah, the most like Cash App and all that stuff that doesn't work internationally. So yeah, only really something like Western Union or credit card or bank transfer will work. And I don't know how, like, I know that a bank transfer will work. Anything else internationally, you never know 100% how it will work. But yeah, I'll see if I can set up an account that is made to receive US dollars, so they won't charge you for any conversion fees. Because they can take up to 10% of your money just to convert it, which is, you know, basically theft at that point. So I'll see if I can make sure that that won't happen. Toe number 4, I mangled to fracture and double dislocate a small toe, night hurting. Then I got the mental health worker to faint. And there's no idea she couldn't do blood. That is funny, B. That is funny. That is too funny. I shouldn't be laughing, but I mean, actually, it reminds me of. I was also with actually fishing together with a social worker, and I was having like a rod stand that I was driving in the ground with a hammer or mallet or whatever, and I slipped and kind of cut my, I don't know, my hand open somewhere, was bleeding a bit. And he was like, "You're bleeding, and relax. It's just a little blood. It's barely even a flesh wound." Yeah, I was dripping, but the blood I was dripping on the concrete actually stayed there for a few weeks till, even through multiple rains, till it got completely washed off. So my blood is sticky, I guess. Managed not to faint, but I was very close. I unlocked my door, got sat down, then texted her to let herself in. She came in and screamed and fainted. Lol. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that accident in Scotland, let's just say, yeah, someone I was also worried about and actually had just texted and was thinking about and not really focused on the fishing too much before it happened. in the night before a friend had died. So yeah, losing me right within not even 24 hours, potentially, that definitely was bad timing. I have the worst timing, by the way. I have a talent for bad timing. I always do or have shit happen to me at like the worst time. Bad timing and standing in the way are two of my great gifts. All right. Let's wrap this reel up and put it out to dry as well. But yeah, like the worry honestly about someone else was the biggest deal of that accident in Scotland. And I had some pains that came 3 weeks later and stayed for a couple weeks to some degree. But right after, I was pretty much fine. Or at least you recognize you have gifts. Meow. I'm hungry. What? You don't want to get eaten? Eating some pussy? Meow. 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 I can't really move you if you put your feet against me, Lila. Eating some pussy. I'm eating my hairy pussy. Too hairy. You don't have to shave, but maybe trim a little, baby. What? Lila? Meow. I love you. You're being too good, Lila. Okay. Don't get hair stuck between your front teeth. Why? Okay. You have triggered the rambunctious button. Might need to stay away. Oh. Well, have fun. What? It doesn't hurt you. I've picked her up before. Like this. You're just being a drama queen. You're not even trying to get away, Lila. Step away from the pooter so I don't get your channel. All good, all good. On my workout channel, there was even a talk about pegging before. So. Well, I have picked her up like a mama cat would do before. She looked a bit confused. By the way, one time she actually sucked my nipple. Yes. I just came out of the shower. She climbed on top of me and tried to get some milk from here. And I was like, I don't think you're gonna get milk from there, sweetie. She was pretty young back then. Did you ever ask Yogi about the tea bag? No. What? Oh, that kind of tea bag. Like, that took me a minute too long, but to be fair, English is my native language, so. I know him and Adam had a talk about semen retention. On a live stream before, but not that long ago, actually. Like, yeah, either this year or late last year. Remind me when we next speak. I will. Okay, actually, I might end this live because it really is time for a meal now. Yeah. And don't really have the nerve to go in my fishing room and do much stuff. I don't know if I'll go do a workout or not, but we'll see. Meow, Lila. Meow. You're being rambunctious. You keep rocking around, looking at me and meowing. What do you want? You want to get eaten again? I'm not gonna actually eat your pussy. I'm sorry. I don't have a tomcat around, and I'm not one. I'm a take man, sweetie. Meow. What do you want? You meow when I have you in my arms. You meow when you're down there. Hope you sleep well. Meow. Meow. So you want to get down? Okay. Yeah, now she's down and she's just looking at me like she wants something. Lila? For a minute, she was just standing right by my feet, like, I don't know what the cat wants. Understanding a pussy. No hope there. And you put your head down as it's laid. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll. There's a chance I'll still do a workout, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. We'll just see. Well, have a good one, and Lila, come say bye with me. Goodbye. See you soon.